Hi guys, welcome back to Bluebean's Not So Daily, exposing my classmates. I'm Zach, and today I'm going to be exposing one of my classmates. Let's call him Bill. Bill can be kind of weird, sus, and honestly a bit nasty sometimes. One time, when we were going on a field trip, we finally arrived at the destination, and the teachers allowed us to eat our lunches. After I finished eating, Bill started biting on his straw for some reason, and then out of nowhere he began spitting on me and one of my other friends. Let's call that friend Tommy. Obviously, Tommy and I moved away because that was just gross. Tommy said, "He's disgusting," and tried to tell the teacher, but of course, the teacher didn't do anything about it. For the rest of the time, Bill kept pushing me around and stepping on my shoes. I tried running away from him, but somehow I ended up getting in trouble instead. Another time, during gym, I was playing basketball. We play almost every day. It's usually a 2v2 game, and we always go up against Bill's team. Somehow, we keep losing, but it's not because we're bad. It's because Bill and his teammate, Joe, always cheat. Joe keeps saying things like, "no fouls," and "no out of bounds," for no reason, just so they can win. My friend, who we call Bob, told me, just let them do what they want. I was super annoyed, but I decided to stay quiet and keep playing. Still, Bill kept tripping me, shoving me, and even slamming into me on purpose. So after that whole messy situation during lunch, you'd think things would calm down, right? Nope, the drama really started on the bus ride back. Everyone was tired from walking around all day, and all I wanted to do was sit quietly, listen to music, and maybe nap a bit. I ended up sitting next to Tommy, while Bob sat in the seat in front of us. Everything was fine until Bill climbed onto the bus. He spotted us immediately and gave that smirk he always does when he's about to start something. He walked down the aisle and, of course, decided to sit right behind me and Tommy. I could already tell this ride was gonna be a long one. At first, he started with little things, kicking the back of our seats, pretending it was an accident. I turned around and said, "Bro, can you not?" And he just laughed at me. Then he started whispering to Joe, who was sitting a few rows away. They were snickering and looking at us. Tommy leaned closer to me and whispered, "Watch, they're gonna do something." And oh, he was right. A few minutes later, Bill took a small piece of paper, crumpled it up, and flicked it right at my head. Luckily, I dodged it, and it went to the front of the bus. I turned around again, super annoyed, and said, "Dude, seriously?" And he just shrugged and said, "Chill out, Zach, it's just paper." The bus driver yelled, "No throwing things," but didn't see who did it. Bob turned around from his seat and said, "Just ignore him, man. He wants attention." I tried, I really did, but then Bill started humming really loudly, repeating everything Tommy said in a mocking tone. Finally, Tommy snapped. He turned around and said, "You've been pissing us off the entire day, mate. Can you shut the up for once in your life?" That's when Bill stood up, like he wanted to fight. Everyone went silent, even Joe stopped laughing. The bus driver looked up through the mirror and shouted, "Sit down." Bill sat back down but muttered something quietly. Tommy rolled his eyes, then leaned back. The rest of the ride was awkward and quiet. When we finally got back to school, Bill stormed off the bus first, still acting all dramatic. Bob just shook his head and said, "Man, he's gonna start something again tomorrow. I can already tell." I laughed and said, "Probably, but at least we survived the ride home." Bill can be kind of chill sometimes, like 10% of the time, but man, he really knows how to get on people's nerves.
Hey everyone, I'm Jade, and today I'm going to be exposing one of my former classmates. So back in 6th grade, I had a friend named Isaac. Isaac was an interesting one, mainly because he was incredibly inappropriate. He would constantly talk about dating me and a few other girls in our grade. And the thing is, he wasn't the only one like that at the time. I had actually known Isaac since 5th grade. We were in the same class back then, and he was my first real friend. Because of that, I just brushed off his behavior and treated it all as a joke. I didn't think much of it at the time. I guess I was just too young to realize how weird it actually was. Then, one day in 6th grade, someone in our class said they saw Isaac and another boy kissing in the bathroom. Of course, I was completely grossed out, not because of who he liked, but because we were only 11 to 12 years old, and like, why would you do that at school? So I did what I thought was the most reasonable thing at the time. I blocked him and unfriended his brother on Minecraft. Later, I decided to give him another chance and started talking to him again, thinking maybe we could have a fresh start. But not even a full day later, he decided to touch someone inappropriately. There was a rumor that he literally gave someone back shootings. I was going to block him again, but I ended up forgetting. At this point, I was convinced Isaac was bisexual. Not that it mattered, but it just kind of made sense given the bathroom thing and then this incident involving a girl he wasn't even dating. Since I forgot to block him, I still got notifications from him. And one day, I got a message that made me want to disappear. He was going to the same summer camp I was attending. I'm not exaggerating when I say I had the craziest frown that day. Now, Isaac had no idea that I had blocked him before, so he acted like nothing ever happened. A few days later, I blocked him again. The funny part, he still had no clue. Honestly, I don't even think he knows to this day, and this wasn't that long ago. After the summer, my friend Selena, Kian, and I decided to expose him in a group chat. We also added another girl named Leah. When Leah realized what was happening, she dipped immediately. Kian didn't really want to get involved, so he just watched from the sidelines, but Selena and I were taking the mic. We kept exposing Isaac until he finally left the chat and blocked all of us. We haven't heard from him since, and honestly, it's only been a week, but that week has felt peaceful.
Hello again, it's me, Ariana, and this is an update about the 3 girls from the last video. I finally found out who made the slideshow. It was Brianna. Also, I forgot to mention this in my last message, but Lisa and her sister had been harassing me online through text messages. Lisa's sister kept calling me cock-a-head for some immature reason. Anyway, I've blocked both Lisa and her sister, so that issue is taken care of. Now, back to when I found out everything. On that same Monday I mentioned before, I actually got sick because of anxiety. Since I wasn't feeling well, I ended up having to talk to the school counselor on Wednesday. She had been out sick on Tuesday. On Wednesday during 8th period, which is study hall for me, my teacher suddenly said, "Ariana, Miss Appleberry needs you." I went down to talk to her and told her my side of the story. Thankfully, I didn't get in any trouble. The counselor just told me to keep focusing on what I'm passionate about and to keep being myself. That was honestly such a relief to hear. Since this message feels a little short, here's a fun little side story for you. During my last period today, I had band class. We were doing a fun Halloween-themed worksheet. My school always does festive activities for Halloween, which I love. Anyway, while I was working, I noticed this guy sitting next to me giving me the classic cheating side eye. I looked at him and was like, "What?" Then he had the audacity to say, "If you tell me the answer, I'll give you $5 tomorrow." Like, seriously? That already sounded super shady. Of course, I did the right thing and said no. I mean, since it's banned, maybe I could have gotten away with it faster, but still cheating is cheating. After I said no, he actually said, "It's just a bribe," as if that somehow made it better. I ignored him after that and focused on finishing my work. A little while later, class ended, and I got dismissed since that was 10th period. Anyway, that's all for now. Remember, stay true to yourself and don't let anyone pressure you into doing something you know isn't right.
Hey, my awesome blue stars, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to comment with blue hearts if you've reached this far, and also mention whose story was your favorite. Peace out, my awesome blue stars. Bye.